to time, talent comes along that has no equal. Talent truly on loan from you-know-who. Talent that makes you grateful you're alive. Of course, this is not one of those times.
It's The Lounge Show with Rob Scott and Bob Doyle, two veteran broadcasters who love to hear themselves talk and are somehow able to tolerate each other. Let's see if you can tolerate them as well. Here's Rob and Bob.
Oh, I have got to change that applause sound effect. It sucks.
Without
Not
it.
enough people. We need at least, I don't know what a good crowd is for us. If we
I
had
could find one.
if it
You
was
need me
live,
to.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Could you? Because I was actually going to bring that up. Like how do we?
Could
Well,
I
first
find
of all,
one? We could audition them, but first of all, and identify yourself. Do the thing.
I'm Bob Doyle.
Yeah, and I'm Rob Scott, and he is in Vegas.
That's right.
And there's the board. There's the tote board.
I just did that so it would reset our names and stuff.
And I'm in Atlanta.
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
My time, which
means
it loud.
it's thick, right. What he said, and I said right on over, and he probably didn't hear him because of technology. It's Amy is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. First one to comment, and this is speaking of
Happy Saturday, Amy.
Yeah.
Speaking
yeah.
of, go ahead. What? Speaking of what?
I was thinking, what do we got? What can we do
Yeah.
to entice more people to join us here? Like, what can we do? Like, what's in it for them, really? I mean, why should they listen? I thought, what better way than to promise large sums of money?
Well, sure, buy the book, as
Right.
we used to say in the radio business. Buy the book.
But we're not going to do that, so I'm out of ideas.
Oh, that was it. That's all
I
you
mean,
had?
we got the hopper,
We do
the
have
hopper
the
for the game. That is
right,
a big
for the
deal.
Lounge Around the House game, beautifully adorned in a burnt orange corduroy.
Right.
And it's
I'm
beautiful.
starting to think that people don't really think we're going to have that. Rose Davidson, ladies and gentlemen, a relatively new
Rose.
listener,
That's nice.
viewer to the
A
lounge.
listener, yeah, what a consumer. What's the word for this?
Victim. All right. Well, your daughter's in the house as well. Are you looking at the comments, sir?
I am. I can see that now. It
All
still
right.
always blows me away. Sammy Osborne, yeah, the new name, the cool new name.
Yeah. I
But
know.
it's still, I'm old school. You were just saying what 10 minutes ago before we went to the show when the lounge opened, and right beforehand I said some joke, and Bob was, "You're so old."
Yeah,
You're
I
so
can't remember what it
old.
was, but it was a reference. It's one of these things I point out to Rob a lot, and it's not really to poke his ancient age in his face, but I have a message and a phone
what?
that I didn't silence.
Somebody's here. Someone's here. We've got company.
But occasionally he will say something of a humorous nature, which I appreciate because I'm right on the cusp.
Yeah, you're not. It's not like you're in your mid-20s just getting out of college going, "Gee, Rob, help me out. What do you do on an interview?" You're not that young. You're a couple years younger than me.
That's right. I'm a sprung chicken. Jason's joined us too, ladies and gentlemen. I'd reach over and press the applause, so I will.
Anyways, the reason I brought that up about you're so old is because I'm old. It's taking me a little getting used to the fact that my daughter, has a new name. It's not.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's new. It's a new name, and that But I forget what I said that caused you to call me old right before the show started. I forget what it was. Oh, I know. Talking politics with the barber. I used
Right.
the line. Bob was talking politics with the barber, and
Well-
he laughed and then said,
Well, Rob,
"You're
first of
so
all,
old."
Rob said he got a haircut, and I
did.
said this, and then he said, "Yeah, you were talking
You were
politics
talking
with the barber,"
politics with the
and
barber.
that to me is a very old man reference, right? I picture. This is going to sound terrible segue, Bob, but that's a Ralph thing that I would. That's a Ralph.
It would be.
Yeah.
He would say something like, my dad would have said something like that.
But Rob has somehow been Ralph fathered in, where he can use Ralph lines. He's the right age to do it, but I couldn't. I'm too young. But he's
No, I don't
just
think
right.
that's it.
Not.
I don't think it's age. I think it's you
I
either
know.
have.
I would have had to have cultivated it my whole life, like
Yes.
you did. He's always. Rob has always talked like a 68-year-old man.
There's an element of truth to that.
It's a
statement.
pretty big element. I bet you people who know you for a long
Yeah.
time would vouch for that. And a lot
Yeah,
of it
but
is those humor references or whatever. Like we have to
Yeah.
understand. See, Sammy
Yeah,
just vouched for it right there. Ha ha
Ha,
ha
so
ha.
true,
So
right.
true.
I was reading. I got one of the guys at work the other day came up with an idea for a commercial, and they send me.
Isn't that his
these ideas.
job? Oh, sorry.
Well,
So
but
there's
the
more.
point
I
is,
didn't. I'm sorry.
it was
I
about
thought that was
ice
like
cream.
the whole.
It was about ice cream. The point is, it was about ice cream. And he goes, you can write a spot about the ice cream thing. It's good for summertime. He said, just reminisce on like those sock hops you used to go to.
Sock hops.
Sock hops. What does he think? I'm 80? What the? I mean, it's really. I'm sorry, Potsy.
Hold
I
on.
can't
Wait,
go to
did
the
they
sock
really?
hops.
Was that for real?
I know. I think it was half and half. He gets
Okay.
confused. He gets a little confused. He gets a little spun around. But he was also giving me a hard time, right?
All
But I
right.
mean, I'm thinking
Okay.
it's
The
like
sock
Ralph
hops.
Malph and Potsy, and I can't go to the sock hop because I'm dating the Jablonski twins.
Jablonski.
Yeah,
Was that actually the name? It was something like that, right?
Dubrowski, something. It was
There was
three
a
syllables.
somebody
and it
was
ended with
skiing.
a ski. Someone was skiing. You bet.
So the other thing about, just as before we leave it completely, but I cannot not when I hear
Yeah.
Sammy Osbourne, that she's on stage with a rock guitar, she's because you can't help but think Ozzy Osbourne has the same cadence, and it's like Sammy.
Sammy Osbourne, right?
It totally, like, I just see her up there with the whole thing,
Doing
or somebody else named Sammy. It's just a rock star. That's what I see.
Well,
Oh,
yeah. What were you going to say? Who's
Well,
in someone's
what Tracy just commented there on the screen as still showing up as Facebook user, which is
Facebook
so
user? I
weird.
love that she's so covert.
And I think it only shows up like that for us. I think on Facebook it shows up right. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really? Okay.
But
I did not know that.
But she and Amber are sort of planning this trip to New York. So
Oh.
but
Wait a
part of
minute.
that.
What was that? Trip to
No,
New
I don't
York?
want to. No, I don't. That's where I do not want to stop. I want to move right through that and
Yeah,
go
go
on
ahead.
to. I had never heard of the Museum of Ice Cream. Have you?
Oh, I saw that came up on the tote board.
Yes.
Something about ice cream.
I was going to
something
mention it. I was going to mention it when you said ice cream.
Yeah.
But did you know that there is such a thing?
I had no idea, but it would surprise me if there wasn't a museum about. There's so many museums for so many things. Ice cream's a pretty big thing. You would think someone decided, hey, let's put a museum together in honor of that dairy treat.
If we had a freaking Skippy, he'd have that. He'd have that up on the web right now. I could do it in 20 seconds. Hold on, let me pull it up and look at it on the web.
What,
Come on.
What, no.
Anyway, but
reply-
it's like I didn't when they said Museum
You've
of Ice
been
Cream. I
there?
think,
You
what-
went to the
no,
Museum
no,
of
no,
Ice
no, 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 no. There's such thing as a web page. It's like on the internet, and they can put pictures on it now, and video. I think. But anyway, so I did not know what it was, but then they went to the website, and it's this really whimsical place. It's like where how they have like, I don't know, these Dave and Buster's where the ball pits or whatever, but instead of balls, they're like these foamy like sprinkles. It looks like gigantic sprinkles. So everything's like ice cream themed, and it's just big and colorful, and Anyway, I just went.
It's in New York State or New York City?
New York City.
All right. There's also an M&M's thing in New York City too. I remember Gaffigan doing a bit about it, and it's 3 stories, and it's just all devoted to M&M's.
They have one here in Vegas too, and we've been.
Oh well, see, you can probably right down the street from your house.
Yeah. It's just
You're
could
in
walk.
Henderson. Is that where Henderson?
Shh. No, I'm in Benderson.
Look, there's more than 8 houses in Benderson, so no one's gonna. And anyhow, as you said at the beginning of the lounge, no one's watching anyway. So what difference?
I
does
didn't
it
say
make?
no. I didn't say that. I did not. Because
You
look,
said how we
as
can
I
get
was
this-
talking, people were viewing. Because clearly I didn't say. I said, how could we engage more people?
It's just
More.
going to have to be word of mouth, like anything else. Seinfeld did very poorly in their first year.
Well, we're at
And
that
then-
now. So now it's time for season
We're
2.
doing poorly. Yes, we're doing very poorly.
Well, it
here's-
just what is the gauge, right? We're having fun, so what do we care? But
Here, I was trying to look for a crowd because you wanted but that's too much crowd, right?
they seem very young too.
How can you tell that?
Come on, who's with me? Young, type 1
They
for
saw
young,
that
2 for
young?
why do you think that?
The
I'm getting
lounge
the
show.
stereo. That whistle went
Yeah, that whistle sounds pretty good.
a little whacked.
All right.
out.
Well, anyway, that's just an idea.
Rose.
'cause you
All
said
right.
you're
So
up
see,
to
we got one. We got ones.
pitch one.
Yes, and I'm
Okay, so
standing.
Go ahead. No, go. What do you got?
Nothing.
We start except nothing. All right, I'll do what I do every week. What did you do this week? Was it a big week? Was it a fun week? Did you do anything special? Did you do anything surprising? Did you jot in your journal?
That's way too many questions. I just geeked out more.
Okay.
So I found in my wanderings as a business professional on LinkedIn, I came across this company.
Yeah.
I guess I won't say the name right now. I don't guess it matters. Meta.
Doesn't matter if you say it because you can't say it.
That's right. Metaphysic.ai. And they are doing everything I want to do in that space of artificial intelligence and graphics and synthetic media and all that stuff I do with faces and all that stuff that lights me up and I spend way too much time doing. And they actually featured. They were actually on America's Got Talent. One of the people up there did a live deep fake of Simon Cowell. So his performance in real time was being broadcast up on the big screen, but it was Simon singing it, right? So it's superimposing his face in real time so that he can do that. So that is very much like technology that I've used on a lot of my videos and stuff like that, which allows me to do that. But that company and seeing they're doing it, first of all, I've reached out to them. We'll see what happens there.
How do they make money?
Rob, I didn't read their business plan.
That's for guys in white coats. I just put the deal together.
It's like you saw that coming. I
really did. It just popped into my old man brain.
Oh, no,
yeah,
that's good.
So is that hydroponic, Larry? Or
now I want to know. I want anyone listening right now to type in what's that reference. That's all we're gonna say.
It's a movie.
Yeah. Anyway, so it got me re-inspired to play with those toys and stuff like that. So this morning I woke up, and now that I have this booth, just having this voice booth, it just makes you want to get in there and record something, right? Do something creative. So I got a little webcam in there, and so this morning I just went in there and was playing with that program, which is called Deep Face Live. I don't know if we've talked about it or not. I got another whole video on it out there where I walk through it. I couldn't run it live at the same time as this show. It would just chew up too much resource. But anyway, so I just sat down and I just started, I just put on some faces and just crap came out of my mouth, and I just did a bunch of those things. And then later that day, I pieced them together into these little things for posting on Instagram or whatever. Would you like to see one or two?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. That's a sincere answer from Rob. So
it was sincere. Yeah.
So here's the thing. I really didn't know where I was going with this, and so I sat down with this first.
You put this together this morning. You created these faces this morning.
Yeah, it just puts this face on in real time. So I'm just sitting there, and as I'm recording this, I'm seeing this face. Okay, so it kind of puts you in whatever character. Here's the thing. These are all celebrity faces. But I don't do any sort of impressions. So I just thought, well, the direction I'm going to go is just to do a voice that is completely, so outrageously not that person, and then that's just the bit. Then I've got no obligation to sound like, and I can just do whatever.
Jason likes your techie fun. You should really do your little intro slide.
Oh, sure. Here we go.
Let's do that.
I don't hear it,
there
though.
It is. I don't either. You broke it.
I don't think we've run this since I had the computer crash, so that may be what it was.
Okay.
But anyway, so this is the first one I'm going. The first one I'm playing here is the first one I did, and it was actually when because I was playing around with voices for this particular face, trying to, can I get anywhere close? The answer was no, so I just went extreme. And then this is just me formulating the whole idea. See, the lounge show is kind of a behind the scenes of the creation of crap out there. So just think of it as this is a
Sammy
workshop.
just told me that I have writing on my shirt, and then it's goofing up my name on the shot here.
Well, whatever. Don't you have a post? You should do this in the post-show meeting, I think.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You were going to show us this. Go ahead.
Yes,
I was just. You're the technical guy on the show. You kind of run the buttons. So I didn't know if they're...
This is the first one, and I hope to get all the audio works. Okay. So you'll kind of see me formulating the whole idea as I go through the first.
Hello, I'm Micholas. I'm Micholas Mage. I live in a land far away where I possess magical powers. That's right, Mage. I admit it's not my given name. My real name is Nicholas. Just call me Nicholas Mage. That's how I like to be known anyway. So, around these parts, I don't do too much magic. I work down at the Smiths I work in produce. And I make sure that, well, anyway, you know what, produce. So, not much exciting going on in terms of, casting spells or, doing much of anything other than just sort of restocking apples and things like that. But there is a room for advancement. There's nothing in magic or anything. It's a grocery store, and they don't. I've gone down to the Strip. I live in Las Vegas. I went down to the Strip. I told them my name was Nicholas Mage, and I'd like to do some magic. And they sent me over to this magical store, and the guy was doing some tricks. I couldn't figure out what the hell he was doing, so I didn't get the job. But high hopes, always a positive attitude. That's what I am going to start to say, because the other things I say probably aren't helping me. Things like, you are a stupid loser, and why do you even try, and the bed's not too good for you, and that kind of thing. So anyway, I don't know why I even started talking to you. I think I just saw this camera and thought it'd be a good idea. But now I'm kind of second guessing it because, I think probably for obvious reasons. Nicholas Mage, out.
Okay, so that's fun, right?
Okay, a couple of things. First of all, it really looks great. It really looks like Nicolas Cage, and the lips sync up with the VO exceptionally well. But my favorite thing, the music, the background music that you put in there, just with the little flute thing going on, the little plunky strings. That was very nice.
Choosing music for those things is one of my favorite parts of it. I'll be meticulous about matching the vibe I want, and
that's a good bet. I don't know where you got that, but I like that.
I'll tell you, I uploaded. I use Sony Vegas, or it's not Sony anymore. Vegas. It's a video editor for the PC. I've used it since version 1, and this new version has like a subscription model, but you get access to basically everything on Storyblocks, which is a big repository, where you can get stock footage and stuff. So you can just bring it right into the editing program. I don't even have to go look. I can search for it and find it from right, and then just suck it in, drop it in the project. So in that, I'm typing silly or funny or goofy or whatever to find something whimsical, and it's just boom right there. It's really awesome.
I like that. I like that music. That was good music for that. That was very nicely done. And it is amazing what they're doing with that stuff, because it looks exactly like Nicolas Mage.
Right. Here's a shorter one, and I like this one because of how much it looks like the person. I think this is the one.
Hello. I know you're tired of seeing me showing up at your door every morning. When you first wake up, your eyes are kind of sleepy. You smell the morning coffee and the smell of the flowers outside your open window and a hint of the apple pie from last night that you made. How did I know you made apple pie? Well, it certainly wasn't because I was looking in your window all night. Listen, I just wanted to wish you a very good day. Not just a kind of good day, but I just feel like it's time for you, yes, you, to have a very good day. And so I came over here in my bathrobe. Sorry about that. It's just, I only own this. I'm going through sort of a hard time right now. I was kind of hoping you could feed me 3 meals a day forever.
I'm also digging the closed captioning. For those folks at home who are having a tough time
also
understanding Bob.
Also built into the new version of Vegas, which is that's really what it was like. Okay, I got to go grab this right now because I need that. You have to have captions on things you post on social media, or it just gets scrolled right by. So
really,
it's almost
these
imperative.
are things I don't know.
Yeah, because a lot of times people will.
How about this one? No. Yeah, that's a bar. That really isn't what you're looking for, is it?
No, I don't know why you're even playing a sound effect at me.
Because you said you wanted a new cheering. You wanted more people.
Oh, yes, this is good.
at the beginning
That's
of the show.
good.
You said I need more people.
Yeah, so send me that one. Well, although now, see,
Okay.
I've got access to all. In fact, the first one I did, applause, laughter. I always search for those in any new library because I want to hear,
Okay.
does it sound goofy? Does it sound real? What's the, it's like I'm a real stickler about that, even though I use the worst possible ones. But trust me, in my mind, I'm tortured by what we're doing. But that's a good one.
Okay, I got a picture I was going to show you.
And the first search I did of applause today in this program was amazing.
Let's see if this is working. I forget. There it is. There it
All
is.
right, hold on,
This is the before and after. I can make this a little bigger, hopefully. The
Be
before
good.
and after. So the top one is the old roof, and the bottom picture is the new roof.
Okay, wait. I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around this. So it's from above. It's from above. It's aerial. Got
They
it.
send these drones up there now, man. And
So hold on.
So the top
is before?
The top is old. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger here. There. The
Oh,
top
good.
one is the old roof, and the bottom one is the new roof.
Wow.
Quite a difference.
Yes, it is.
Wouldn't you say, Bob?
I would say so. Now, were those vents or something? Those four things?
Yes. Very, very observant, Bob. Yes, those 4 vents up there are gone. And if you look at the peak, the apex of the roof, that now is what they call ridge venting. And it covers the apex of the roof, but the hot air still escapes. But that little cover also keeps the water and the elements and so forth from going in. And so it is it's more efficient way of keeping the attic cooler, which should help my energy costs. So yes, and then they get rid of those 4 vents there. So yeah, and obviously you can tell no stains, no muss, no fuss.
No, I was noticing no muss. That was going to be my next comment. Was there's absolutely no muss there that I see.
It's zero muss. In fact, that was part of the deal when I talked to the contractor. I said I want a muss-free situation, and he obviously, as you can see, he applied.
Must-free. Jim Sly has joined us, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of must,
Jim Sly is here.
That's right. I applause, but my applause blows. I mean,
those people.
It blows.
Those people.
That's one of those things that it's the same thing.
They need Geritol. They have iron deficiency. They need some iron-rich blood. Those people. There's like 3 of them just going like this. But yes, Jim made a comment on the fact that you went to the barber and talked politics.
That's right. He didn't use those exact words. All right.
Right. But in fact, it's funny you mentioned that too, because people at work, we've been talking about dad jokes, and then they look at me every time because I do have that Ralph-esque quality about my humor.
Yes.
But you see, I'm gonna just quote the dude himself. I'm gonna quote Ralph. I'm gonna quote my dad. He always said that if you can tell us, he called them, as you know, stories.
Yes.
He didn't call them jokes. And he said, if you can tell a story that's not blue, it's not dirty. Then he said that it takes a little more something to be able to get folks to chuckle on a clean piece of material, which I agree with him on that one.
Wholeheartedly.
So sometimes dad jokes are pretty fun. Yeah.
I wanted to show the Geneva cam, and I realized I didn't get it ready.
Oh yeah, it's been a little chilly there, Chelsea. And I also have I finally found a camera, shot a live cam of Salt Lake City that captures the sunset over the mountains
where
somebody set up where Stephen is. Now it's not right where he is, but I was kind of rummaging about looking for something just so I could have, if it's snowing, if it's this, if it's that. It's kind of nice to have a live cam shot. And I found one of that. Are you still? But speaking of that, I go every day almost and take a glance at the Lake Geneva cam. And now you're having trouble making it work.
Oh, there it is. Huh? No, I had to refresh the little in-program browser. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This is looking off to the side. It's just, again, Skippy calls out sick. You know, like the last second, it's like, thanks, dude. Thanks,
I like the fact that Slot
Skipster.
is here. Oh, look there it is. Look how calm the water is. Very calm.
All is calm. All is bright.
Yeah, that's a pretty good shot there. And see, I always do this with my mouse, as if you can see my mouse, which you can't on this screen because
yes,
But if you go to that point, the point at about, I don't know, 1/3 from left to right, the point begins. You keep going. The third pier, that is like a big party boat. It's like an old vessel. I mean, that probably cost $400,000 so they can go have cocktails on the lake. The amount of money that's on that body of water, as you know, is rather staggering. These people have a lot of disposable.
But that's
a good shot.
Is there any known statistic about like how many boats are submerged or whatever?
I can tell you this: that if a car goes in, when the lake freezes over and a car goes in, which they do every year, some goober goes out there on the ice with his car, goes in the water. And years ago, it was I want to say $1,500 a day, the fine.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember you told me that.
Yeah. And that was years ago, and you were responsible for getting your car out too. Like, not only are we going to charge you $1,500 a day, so the reason I bring that up is I wouldn't guess there are too many boats that have submerged and just stayed down there. They're pretty persnickety about keeping that body of water clean. And you've swam in that lake many times, and it's a clean lake, man.
I don't know if it's many. I bet you I could count on less than 10 or so fingers.
I guess you're right. I guess you were there a lot. Yeah, but you didn't go in very often.
No. It was rare for me to jump in there. I mean, because ladies and gentlemen, it's freaking cold.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that you say ladies and gentlemen. So here's something. Help me out. I don't think this is an age thing, but I did that. So you can kind of picture my house. I have a walk-in closet in my bedroom, and there's a light switch for the light inside the closet. And since practically I've lived here, the light switch has been finicky, to say the least. And it would actually trip a breaker. And it was just a bad light switch. So I said to myself, so I said, go buy a new light switch. They're super cheap. You go to Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, couple of bucks. And I brought that thing home, and it stayed on the desk in my garage for a minimum of 8 weeks. Usually what would keep you from doing the project is actually going and getting the switch. But I got the switch, and it just stayed there. And last weekend, I finally, sunny day, because you have to turn off the power, I replaced the switch. It probably took me all of 20 minutes, and I'm still basking in the joy of not having to wiggle it. And what is that? What makes us do crap like that where you go, and I'm so happy that it's in now, this switch. It's a little tiny win in my world, and I don't understand why.
So maybe it was just so you could get that lesson of gratitude for the little things. Like you really appreciate that switch on a level that if you had done it and just fixed it that day, you wouldn't even be thinking about it. Just be, oh yeah, broke, they fixed it, done. Right, because it wouldn't have been this thing that built up and built up and built up. So now the relief is so great. I go in there when
I got to go get some socks or I got to get a pair of shoes on, and I flip the switch. And go,
I know. Yes, it just goes on. I can feel it from here. It's expansive in your soul when those things get fixed.
It is. For what, $1.87 or whatever it costs for the new switch, it was nothing. And all the joy that comes from that.
Yes.
I flip it on, I flip it off. No, it doesn't. No sparks, no anything. It just works. It's wonderful.
So, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. If you have that little thing that's poking at you, that chore that's been just that every day you have to face it, just that when am I ever gonna and procrastinate? Just go get it done. It's the weekend. Do it tomorrow. Or hell, do it tonight. Get out there and do it tonight.
Wow.
And you will be you will come back to this show with a cake for us. That's right. Internet cake.
With a cake?
Yes. As a thank you.
Here, there's a question. Pie or cake? I've asked that to you once before, I think, on the show. Pie or cake?
Yeah, whatever I said, you flipped me the other way. I can't remember what.
Oh, okay. Then
I don't remember what I want anymore. I think I said cake, and you argued for pie.
Oh yeah, I'm a big pie guy. If I could only have one for the rest of my life, it's pie for sure.
I don't remember the exact argument, but there you go, Jason. He's going to get.
Oh, look at that! Jason said he's got to get his car trunk fixed. See, same thing. And when you get it fixed, when he gets the car trunk fixed, and he will eventually, and then he's going to go, WTF, why didn't I do this however many weeks ago? Because it'll open and close. You'll just sit in the garage and you'll open and close the trunk and look at it works. Woo! It's unbelievable how we put off those are the little joyful little nuggets of accomplishment that we get to have from time to time. It's a light switch. It costs me less than $2.
Rob Scott and Bob Doyle brought the Lounge Show to another inauspicious close. Join us next week, won't you? 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for another edition of the Lounge Show.
You've been watching The Lounge Show with Rob Scott and Bob Doyle. Join us every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and tell your friends and family to do the same. After all, we'd do it for you if you had a show. Probably.